Now, Uncharted, I think I'll go through this really quickly. Now, Uncharted is based on a video game. Based on a video game which was on the PlayStations, and these video games were highly, highly influenced by films, especially I would say the Indiana Jones movies. They were highly influenced by the Indiana Jones movies. So, I just realized I'm going to be talking a bit. I'm going to do this one quickly. So it's and so this is a film that is being made about a video game that was inspired by Indiana Jones. So, so I was worried that this film is not going to be anything but a sub Indiana Jones. It's going to be kind of trying to be Indiana Jones, but not really. And that is kind of what happens. It's kind of what happens. You have Tom Holland, who is obviously he's one of the biggest stars in the world right now. He is extremely charming. You have Mark Wahlberg, and Sharon, you called it. You said that they were going to do this sort of like old guy, sort of young precocious person, and that's what they do. So Mark Wahlberg is the older one, and they keep making jokes about the ages and the relative ages and what they know or don't know and all that sort of stuff. And this one calls that one grandpa. This one calls this one makes jokes about this one whether he's going to start shaving, and they have that thing that goes back and forth. The plot, who needs to know the plot? All you know is that these two guys, something happens, they meet up, they start chasing some treasure around the world, and things happen. Now, the thing that I feel that the Indiana Jones movies, at least the first three, they have this kind of magic about them where you get taken into the world that they're in. When they start talking about their hoary, well, in history, this person did this, or in history, the Ark of Covenant, blah, 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 or the Holy Grail, they come up with something that sort of brings you in. And this, when they come up with their reason of the treasure, of what happened to make the treasure be there, and why they're trying to chase it around, and the MacGuffin of, we need this cross because this cross isn't actually a cross, but it's actually a key. It just feels very mechanical. It feels very mechanical, and it feels as if there is no reason for this thing to exist other than we want to get from here to there. And even the plan of because it's supposed to be about these sort of like Spanish, I guess the conquistadors, or if that's how you say it, who found the treasure but hid it somewhere, and but then they put a map somewhere, and you're going around this whole town, and in this whole town, I think it's supposed to be Barcelona, and in Barcelona they've done this, then they put it, and you put it, but you start as you're watching it, you're going, okay, this is just a bit by the numbers. It's kind of a go to A, go to B, go to E. There's no, it's like when it's like the Batman, for instance, where you actually see some detecting and some figuring stuff out. There isn't really any figuring out here. It's just kind of like, it just seems like dumb luck of just falling into things and going into things and things that they figure out that you go, hang on, wait, that's convenient. and and then you go, but how did they figure that out all those years ago, all those centuries ago? How did they figure that out to do? Did they have that? And it just kind of makes you go a little bit, okay, fine, it's a bit so it ends up being a bit of a 3-star thing. There's bits of it where there's fan service, there's some set pieces which are done from the game. But the point is that even the set pieces, I feel like if you're going to do something like this, because the whole point about the game is that people say the set pieces in the game blow your mind. The set pieces in the game make you go, wow. And so they just replicate the set pieces in the game. But I'm like, that's already been done. If this film had done something with the action where it had gone a little bit more out there, a little bit more blow your mind, if they'd gotten like the stunts team from The Raid to do some of the action scenes, it might have a reason to exist. But at the moment, I would say, not really. It's inoffensive enough, but it's Indiana Jones's crown is safe. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.